My name is Justin Dickson. I'm a chief lighting technician here in Los Angeles, California. I'm a member of IATSE 728, and I'm here hanging out at the Outpost in LA with a wonderful crew with Aputure. I'm from Mitchellville, Maryland, small town out of Washington, D.C. I was working in a chicken, I call it the chicken shack, but it was a fried chicken spot. I sold fried chicken before I came out here. And I think it was a beautiful, beautiful setup. It's to get me to the motion picture industry, because dealing with certain people in the movie industry and dealing with people in a restaurant who are not satisfied with their chicken or how crispy their chicken is or how done their chicken is, whatever it is, it kind of correlates. Ron Howard did a movie called Cinderella Man, and I watched that probably about 15 million times. Cinderella Man is the movie that said, all right, I'm gonna go out here and try to do some things. I met Larry Mole Parker through LA Film School, who trained me. I would go there 10 hours, 12 hours a day by myself, sitting in other classes, whatever the case may be, just testing different lighting theories. He also would bring in like top tier cinematographers. So like, I got to learn lighting from actual cinematographers and gaffers. I think what I'm trying to do is listen how like Picasso came up with a painting or an idea, or how all these other things came, and then try to incorporate that into filmmaking, if that makes sense. Because that's what you're trying to do with filmmaking, right? Is replicate life, right? So study life. In my 18 years, I've seen lighting evolve so much. It was hard for me to let go of tux. I really embraced LEDs when I saw that it could preserve the life of my crew. I think that LEDs and where technology is going really preserves a lot of energy, preserves the body, preserves the person, and time that it takes to get things going.
What I know for sure is, if we bail, there'll be chaos. I have to stay and fight.
I was the chief lighting technician on Snowfall, a story about how drugs came to South Central LA. We really approached it story-wise, but naturally. In the invention of like stereotubes and LEDs were really starting to come up. Whatever it is, those elements of storytelling, how do we max that out? Not do something cool, but how do we max that out in the advancement of the story?
Sorry, Lee. Click.
We did this one back then, and I loved it because it was like this yo-yo effect that really, like I said, that really told the story. We wanted to add cyan to the shadows because we wanted to manipulate the audience's feelings. And that's what lighting does. Whether we wanted to make them feel trippy, whether we wanted to foreshadow something was going to happen, but also too, lighting black skin tone. There's interesting things that you can do with the skin. A lot of times, you know, they put them in black jerry curl, black leather hat, black coat, black pants, and then trying to light them sitting next to a wall, you would be like, how are we going to do this? This is going to be difficult.
End this as quick and as quiet as possible.
You talking about a massacre?
No, I'm talking about taking a few lives to save many.
We shot Snowfall all in LA, South Central, in the hood. We shot sometimes in Pacoima, where we were filming during a high-speed chase. We filmed in places, neighborhoods that were kind to us, that allowed us to come in there and tell this story about what was going on in their neighborhoods. It's a story that affected like my uncle, you know, of how drugs came to LA and spread throughout the country and affected people in their lives. That's why I loved working on the show, is like showing what happens or what can happen to people who fall victim to this situation.
I found out I was adopted. Fire! That's why I left. I guess I just want to know where I come from, who I am.
I Am the Night was produced, directed by Patty Jenkins. And she's such a brilliant lady. What it taught me was strategy, how to approach TV shows. It's not one size fits all. It was noir style. I really love that because I love light and shadow. It was what you did not know for me that made it scarier than what you did know based on the character of who's going around and killing people.
Get up, silly. Or something bad could happen.
Also having that reinforcement of like, this happened. That is what made it like creepy, and you're shooting at these places where this stuff happened. It was a massive show. I mean, we went down to Wilmington, lit up like 10 blocks, had lights on every roof, had 6 or 8 condors with 20Ks in them. That was a lot accessible for the crew, rather than putting people up in condors and moving them and bringing them down and different things like that. So that was kind of like our approach. I mean, there wasn't really anything scientific behind it, you know?
Yeah, you the one who wrote that article for the Los Angeles Examiner? I got some more information about that trial you might be interested in.
In Wilmington, we were about to shoot. We practiced the whole entire thing. Lights are burning, talent is coming to set, and we lose a generator. And so we had to troubleshoot to get these lights back on in time for us to do our thing. When that generator goes off, everybody looks at you. And I'm nowhere near this generator, and they want answers of what's going on. But we had a great transpo team who got that Jenny back on. We got what we needed to get, and it came on. It was nobody's fault. Nobody got fired. Nobody did it intentionally. It was worked out. It was great. I was the gaffer on Malcolm X, MLK. That was in partner with Hulu, Disney. One thing that I loved about it is that the executive producers were Brian Grazer and Ron Howard, the people who produced the movie that inspired me to move out to California to pursue my dream, Cinderella Man. I actually left Snowfall to do MLK and Genius because my uncle was a civil rights leader who marched with Dr. Martin Luther King.
We must remind ourselves that we must meet hate with love.
It was something that I was able to pour and honor and give to these two leaders who had two different views. I know I am one of a few Black gaffers in this business who's able to do over a $100 million movie. We're not given these opportunities, and so I'm grateful for the opportunity to do that.
A human being still can't turn away from the truth, no matter how hard.
How I approached MLK Malcolm X, I think it was looking at photographs. I think it was looking at interviews on YouTube.
And I feel that there is a need for a revolution of values in America.
Talking to my uncles, how my grandmother walked in 2-inch heels back then. She would go teach a class, go walk in 2-inch heels and protest. You know, what does that pain feel like? What is that? And how do I articulate that? And how do I portray that in lighting? I think photographs, I think also too, once I found out certain themes, I went and researched movies that had those themes, right? So if someone was being targeted or hunted or whatever the case may be, I went and looked at like, I don't know, espionage movies that had that same type of theme and saw how they did certain things or what they did not do per se. So I would get up and watch a movie before work and a movie after work to keep me honest of what I was doing.
Do you think this is going to hurt more, you or me?
I imagine it's unlikely to hate either one of us.
Well, then let's keep them guessing.
Amen to that.
Advice that I would give to others in this business is go after your dreams. I think dreams are visions, or I think dreams are like highways to getting to where you need to be or where you should be in life. There's nothing like this business, nothing like it, and it is to be cherished, to be cherished.